magnetic circuit. So tell me whatever whatever mechanisms or machines or equipments that are actually forming a magnetic part. Do you know in your daily life that you are using?
Motor, ma'am.
Uh, yes, motor. All right. Some examples are given here in the first paragraph. So what examples are cited here? Simple example that you can refer to is transformer. You must have seen in roadsides, no, transformer. What is a transformer actually?
It changes the voltage to preserve power while transferring it into long distances.
So you will be practically having two
What type of
coils, like
transformer
I'm
is
showing.
transformer?
Yes, primary coil you will have and secondary coil you will have. To the
Yeah.
primary coil you will feed the AC supply. Alright. So that AC supply will be transferred to the secondary side load. Load will be connected to the secondary side. So all must have seen one transformer, isn't it, in your daily life? Roadside, so many transformer units are there. Have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
So these transformers, they will be usually having one primary winding and secondary winding as indicated in this diagram. Both are physically in connection or not physically connected.
Not.
Primary and secondary connect winding, they are connected together physically or not physically connected.
Not physically.
I'm not.
Not physical. No physical connection will be there. But how they are connected? Tell me.
Magnetic.
Through
Magnetical. So
Magnetism
there
itself.
is a magnetic coupling. Okay, no physical connection, but there will be a magnetic coupling. Okay, because of which energy from one side is transferred to the energy in the other side. So this is one good example for a magnetic circuit. So many other examples are also given. What are the other examples? Apart from transformer,
Generator,
what are
motor,
the
circuit breaker,
generator,
television,
motor,
computer,
circuit breaker, television,
tape recorder,
computer,
phone,
tape recorder, telephone,
mobile phones.
mobile phones. All of them they have given that in some or the other partially they will be magnetic only. Okay, so since we are learning out that most of the components that are listed here are working on magnetism, you need to learn some basic concept regarding what is magnetism, what are the different types of magnetic materials, what are the various characteristics of such magnetic materials, and what are the various important parameters that define this magnetism, how this magnetism is syncing with the electrical field, what are the common parameters, how they are different, all those things we'll discuss, plus some problems may also come from this magnetic field. Okay, now tell me, why do you need to study about this magnetic circuits again? Why do you need to discuss about this magnetism? How is it important or significant in your life?
in every electrical
And
device.
where there is electric field, magnetic field is generated. So we need to study it.
Yes, most of the machines or mechanisms that you use in your daily life, like a simple transformer, motor, or generator, they will be partially magnetic, partially electric. So you need to discuss both electric part and magnetic part also. What are the rules that are affecting them? So hence we are studying magnetic circuits. Now, what is magnetic field? That is your next question. So how is it generated actually? Magnetic field. How is a magnetic field generated? Suppose if you are keeping a magnetic material, okay, north pole, south pole, this is a permanent magnetic material. Okay, so the area or the region surrounding this permanent magnet, some flux lines will be running. Okay, that will be originating from the north pole and it will be terminating at the south pole and it will be looping like this. Okay, so these lines that I am talking about, these lines are called as what lines?
Magnetic field.
Magnetic flux
Flux line.
lines. Magnetic flux lines. Okay, magnetic flux line. So the region around this permanent magnet that will be exhibiting the phenomena that is called as magnetism, and the field will be correspondingly called as magnetic field. Okay, so you cannot tell that there is a starting point and terminating point for magnetic flux lines. Always it will be starting from north, and it will be in and entering the south pole, and it will be looping again to the north, and it will be circling. Okay, here also like this. Okay, so these lines are called as what lines?
Magnetic flux.
Magnetic flux.
Magnetic flux lines, and the region is called as magnetic field. Okay, this is one way of generating magnetism. Another way is also there. You have a coil, you give the coil current supply. Okay, then will it be generating magnetic field or not? Is it possible or not? Yes,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
possible. Okay, it's possible. This will also be creating a magnetic field. Okay, that is how in a motor or a generator or a transformer the magnetic field is created. You are having an inductive nature of coil, you give it a supply. You give it a supply. Okay, then it will be resulting in the flow of current that will be generating your magnetic field. Okay, so two ways you can generate a magnetic field, either by having a permanent magnetic material or by passing current through an inductive coil. Okay. All right. Next one more important parameter you have learned out. What are magnetic lines of flux? So what are magnetic lines of flux?
The field lines which create a flux.
Around the magnet.
Yes, the lines around a magnet. Okay, that do not have an origin point or terminating point. Okay, that will be continuing as a loop. Okay, so those lines will be called as magnetic flux lines. And next thing is, how is it similar to what parameter in an electric field? So will you be able to tell me phi is proportional to what parameter in an electric field?
Ma'am, would you
Last
please,
first. What ma?
would you please repeat the question?
You are having I
Phi,
EM of phi, here MM of.
phi
So will you
equal
be
to
able to
dA.
relate I to phi? Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am. I is equal to d phi by dt.
Yes. So EMF is equivalent to MMF.
Mod
EMF
of d
means
phi by dt.
electromotive force, MMF means
Yes, ma'am.
magnetomotive force. So this is how some parameters in magnetic field is analogous to some parameters in electric field. So that is also an important question. State the analogy between magnetic field and electric field that they may ask, and how they are different they may ask. On the basis of some parameters only you have to discuss. Okay. Next. So we've learned that flux lines are equivalent to current. Okay, current flow in the electric field. Next comes the definition for some terminology that is involved in magnetic field. One is phi that we have discussed, that is magnetic flux lines. Okay, unit of this flux lines is Weber. Okay, flux line is Weber. All right. Now, next thing that you need to discuss about is, suppose if you are having a material, okay, material like this, all right, material like this, flux is produced there. And if the material is having an area of cross section, let us consider that as A in meter squared. Okay, then I want to define the term that is called as flux density. So that is being indicated by the notation B. Okay, so B represents my flux density. So in order to define it, I have to take the ratio between the flux passing through that area. Okay, so the ratio between the flux to area will be called as what?
Flux density.
Flux density. And what is the notation for that?
B.
Weber. B equal to pi
Weber
by
per meter squared. Okay, Weber per meter squared or otherwise Tesla.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, Tesla or Weber per meter squared, that is called as magnetic flux density. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
In electric field, it will be equivalent to E, that is electric field intensity. Okay, like that. Okay, so this is how this parameter is equivalent to E in a electric field. So what is flux density again? Formula and all is very important. So how will you be able to give the representation for magnetic flux density?
Weber per meter.
B is equal to
The
5
number
pi.
of flux lines per unit area, that is called as what?
Flux density.
Flux density. Okay, the number of flux lines per unit area is called as flux density, commonly represented by B. So B will be equivalent to what ratio? 5 divided by A. 5 unit is having Weber. The unit of area is meter squared. So the unit for B is Weber per meter squared, or otherwise what is the other
Tesla.
unit?
Tesla.
Tesla, or simply T. Okay, don't forget the unit representation might be asked in MCQs. Okay, that is one parameter term that you need to remember. Next comes the term permeability. Okay, so we are having different types of materials. It may be a non-magnetic material or it may be a magnetic material, and depending upon permeability, okay, you can define or categorize the materials as para, dia, and one more, ferromagnetic material. Have you heard that?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference between the dia, para, and ferro? What is the meaning of permeability? The name itself will give you the answer. Permeability means what? It is the allowance of the magnetism, isn't it? So that is the meaning of permeability. So different materials will have different types of permeability. Generally, suppose if you are having an air, okay, or a vacuum, or free space, okay, free space, or air, or any non-magnetic media, then in all those cases, mu r is nothing but relative permeability. That will be equivalent to 1. Okay, this is an important question. So for all non-magnetic media, mu r, that is relative permeability, will be equal to what value? What value? Mu r is equal to
1.
1. Okay, that is for all non-magnetic material, that is including air or free space or vacuum. For all these cases, mu r will be equivalent to 1. Okay, remembering that, you need to write one formula for mu. Mu is absolute permeability, that is a product between mu naught and mu r. Okay, so mu r is 1 for it. Okay, so if you are considering mu naught is a constant actually, that is given by 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Okay, all right. So thereby, for any free space, mu will be equivalent to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 only. Okay, but when it comes to a magnetic material like iron or cobalt or steel, then in that case, depending upon the material, you will have different values for mu r. So mu will be equivalent to mu naught and mu r. Understood? What is the difference between permeability for a non-magnetic media and magnetic media?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the difference? You know, there are three permeability cases. One is mu naught, that is a constant 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 given by this value. Then mu r represents your relative permeability. Okay, mu will be absolute permeability. Mu is given by mu naught into mu r actually. Okay, so what's the difference that will make for mu if it is a non-magnetic media and if it is a magnetic media?
Mu for non-magnetic media is 1.
Yes, mu r will be equivalent to 1, which is equivalent to, that is only for a non-magnetic material. Non-magnetic material means what will be involved? It will be air or vacuum or free space. Okay. For all these cases, mu r will be equivalent to 1. So mu will be equivalent to mu naught will be equivalent to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 only. Okay. Suppose if it is a magnetic medium, then what will be the formula? If it is a magnetic medium like iron or steel or cobalt, okay, then depending upon what material you are choosing, mu r will be having some particular value. You cannot neglect that to be 1. In that case, mu naught, mu r will be equivalent to mu. Understood? Yes or no? This is all about permeability. That is how much allowance you are giving to the magnetism, that is being decided by the factor mu. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next. Next thing that you need to discuss about is reluctance. Okay, reluctance. Reluctance is similar to R in your electric field. So what is R in electric field? R
Yes.
represents what parameter? That is resistance. So what is the meaning of the resistance?
Oppose the flow of current.
Opposition force offered against the flow of current. So same way, if you want to define reluctance given by S, so how will you define reluctance? It is also an opposition property, but offered against what parameter?
Magnetic field.
Magnetic.
Magnetic flux.
I is proportional to what parameter in magnetic field?
Is d
Minus
by
d phi by dt. Phi, ma'am.
flux. Flux.
Phi. Okay, so I is proportional to phi in magnetic field. So if R is opposition property offered against I, S is the opposition property offered against what?
Flux.
Flux. Okay. So this is another similarity that exists between what two fields?
Electric and magnetic field.
Electric and magnetic field. So that formula is given by S is equal to L divided by mu naught mu A. Okay, mu naught mu or something. So how that equation comes up for reluctance you need to derive. Okay, that we'll discuss now. But before that, you remember what are the formula that you have discussed? Phi we have discussed. And phi divided by A is equivalent to what parameter?
B.
Flux density.
B. Flux,
Flux
density.
density. And then mu will be equivalent to mu naught into mu r. Okay, one more formula you have to discuss. B is also equivalent to mu into H. Okay, B is also equivalent to mu into H, but you don't know what is H. Okay, H is nothing but the MMF, magnetizing field strength. That is given by another formula that we will discuss. So already I have told you there is an MMF, okay, which is equivalent to EMF in your electric field. So that is magnetomotive force. Okay, magnetomotive force.
Ma'am,
That
what
is given
formula
by
did you discussed about reluctance?
L divided by mu naught mu r A. Okay, that I will derive. Okay, after that I will tell you again. Okay, I have not yet derived it. Okay, let me derive. Okay, so this is my MMF. Okay, given by what formula? Magnetomotive force. It is defined by what? Product of number of turns around the core and the current. Okay, let number of turns be N, like shown in this diagram. Number of turns, this is a magnetic material around which number of turns of coil is found around the number of turns, let it be N, and you are passing current through that coil I in order to set up that magnetic field. So if this is the case, magnetomotive force is given by what formula? The product between the number of turns and the current. So what will be the formula? What is the formula? M of
Yes, ma'am.
See, you are having one magnetic medium. around which you are winding some considerable number of turns of coil, let the number of turns be N, which is carrying the current I. So the product between this N and I will be called as magnetomotive force. So what is the formula?
N into I.
Ni.
N into I. So the unit of I is what?
Ampere.
Ampere.
Ampere. So number of turns is N. So the unit of magnetomotive force is what?
Ampere turns.
Ampere turns. And what is the formula? Again,
N into I.
N into I.
I.
Okay, so this is another factor that you need to remember. Next comes your magnetizing force, okay, represented by H term, which is given by that of divided by L. Okay, L is the mean length, okay, per unit length. So you already know what is of. What is of?
Magnetomotive force.
What is the formula?
N into I. Ampere turns.
N into I divided by L. Okay, so this is called as what point, what parameter?
Magnetizing force.
Magnetizing force. And what is the unit for it? Ampere?
Time per meter.
Per meter.
It is not time, number of turns.
Yeah.
Ampere per meter.
You remember the setup. This is a magnetic media around which you are winding up considerable number of coils. The number of turns of the coil is N. Okay. And it is allowing a current of I. Okay. So when current is passed through that coil wound around a magnetic medium, it will set up a magnetic field. Okay. Like this, you can set up a magnetism. All right. So these are some formulas that you need to remember. Again, I am telling you, just give me a summary of whatever formula I have discussed.
Yes, ma'am. Flux density B is
We have
equal
started
to
off with
phi
phi,
by
then B is equal to phi divided
by
by
A.
A. The unit of phi is Weber.
Weber or Tesla.
Unit of flux density is Weber per
Tesla.
meter squared or Tesla. Then we have discussed what is of given by
Electromotive force.
Ni. Okay, the unit is ampere turn. Then
Magnetizing
one final
force.
formula for magnetizing force, H is equal to Ni divided by L,
which is ampere
ampere
turns per
turn
meter.
divided by meter. Okay, and one more formula, B is equal to mu into H. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. And mu
so
is
B
equal
is
to mu
equal to
naught
mu into
mu r.
H, mu is equal to mu naught into mu r into H. Okay, this is another way of getting B. Okay, now you know that B is given by phi divided by A also. Okay, and you know what is the formula for H? What is the formula for H?
Ni by L.
Mu naught mu r is equal to Ni divided by L. Okay. Now I am going to group all these terms together. Okay. So if I group that, all right, bring this Ni divided by L divided by mu naught mu r. Okay, in this way, if I am writing this, there will be no change in the formula. So in this side, I am having phi divided by A. Okay, again. So this A also I will bring you to the other side. Okay. So what will be Ni divided by phi? If I am bringing it, then what will happen? What is Ni divided by phi now? A will be brought to the what term?
Number of turns, ampere turns.
L divided by mu naught mu r A I will get no. So this I will be writing it as reluctance. Okay. This is another way of writing reluctance formula. Okay, let us discuss another thing. I'll show you the derivation in another thing. One derivation is there, let me check out which is having the derivation. Okay. Like I told you, okay. You know that phi is b is equal to phi divided by a as per this formula. Okay. So you know that b is equal to mu naught mu r h. Okay. All right. So from that we have derived this first thing, and you have substituted what value for h? What is the thing that you have substituted for h?
Ni by L.
Ni by L, and then you are further simplifying, that's all. Okay, Ni by L, and you are bringing L divided by mu naught mu R A. Okay, if you are writing this, these terms will come up. There will be no change in the original equation. Like just you are bringing it to the new denominator. Then this will be phi, and this whole thing you will be considering it as S term. That is what?
Reluctance.
Reluctance. So how can you relate reluctance, flux, and MMF? What is the formula? What formula?
Ma'am, mu
This
naught
might
into
be
mu r into Ni into A upon L.
what is the formula that relates flux, MMF, and reluctance? That is an important MCQ. They will commonly ask, they repeatedly ask that question. So what's the answer? Flux is phi, MMF is this one, reluctance is S. So what will be the formula? Ni by S is equal to phi. This formula they will always ask. Okay, repeatedly, I think last 2 years they have asked this question in MCQ. So how can you relate phi, MMF, and reluctance? What's the formula?
फाइल कुछ तो में बन जाता है.
Phi is equal to Ni divided by
Yes.
S.
what is S?
Reluctance.
What is the formula for S? Reluctance. What is the formula for S?
Ni by phi.
L by mu naught by mu r.
1 by mu naught mu r
L by
into L by
S is equal to L divided
by
by
mu
mu naught mu r. All should not forget some formula that I am dictating. All the formula you are required to remember for solving problem. Okay. So have you understood how I have derived the reluctance based upon what relationships? Yes or no? Very good.
No, ma'am.
So phi is equal to B into A, the right. So you know various relations that go for B. So B can also be related as mu H. So mu naught mu R H. You know how to write H. How to write H?
Ni by L.
That's what they have did. Mu naught mu R Ni by L. Like that. Okay. So this mu naught mu r in the numerator, they are bringing it here. Okay, that way there will be no change in the original equation. If you are rewriting, again it will go back to the numerator. That's all. Understood or not? Yeah. So this whole part they are grouping it as what? S. That is what?
Reluctance.
Reluctance. That's all. So based upon this only comes relationship between MMF, that is S is equal to Ni divided by S is equal to phi. Okay, that is the relationship that dictates Ni, S and phi. Understood now how they have derived reluctance formula?
yes, ma'am.
What? Vaibhav?
Ma'am, for reluctance, H equal to Ni by L, and same as for reluctance, S
Reluctance
equal
is
to
not
L
equal
upon
to
mu
Ni
naught.
divided by L. Ni divided by L is magnetizing force, H. Ni divided by phi is S, or L divided by mu naught mu r.
Okay, ma'am.
Create sound.
Okay, again I am summarizing the formula. We have started off with phi, unit is Weber. Okay, then what are the formula for B?
Phi is equal to B by A.
I am asking B, you are telling phi is equal to B by A. Phi divided by A. Okay, or otherwise one more formula is also there for B. Mu naught
H.
mu r H. What is the unit for B?
Tesla.
Unit Weber per meter squared or Tesla. All are taking down the formula or not? Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
taking down the formula?
Yes, ma'am.
What is this equivalent to? Mu naught mu r.
Mu, ma'am.
Mu, ma'am.
Mu. Okay, what will be, sorry, mu. What will be mu for non-magnetic medium? And what will be mu for a magnetic medium?
Ma'am, for non-magnetic it will be equal to 1. And for magnetic it is mu naught is equal to
So,
mu r.
ma'am, for non-magnetic medium, mu is equal to mu naught.
What is mu naught formula?
Yes, ma'am.
What is mu naught value?
4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Weber by L.
What is H formula? H. How can you write H?
Ni by L.
Ni by L.
So Ni is representing your MMF divided by L. What is the unit? Ampere turn per meter.
Meter.
Okay. Now finally one more formula you need to remember. That is reluctance formula. What is reluctance? L divided by mu naught mu r A. Okay. and phi is also equivalent to mmf divided by reluctance, which is equivalent to Ni divided by S. Okay, all these formulae how to remember. Have you taken note? Okay, how I have derived that S, you understood or not now?
Yes, ma'am, understood.
All of you?
Yes,
Or you
ma'am.
want me to derive again?
No, ma'am.
You want me to do it again or you understood?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
That is from this relationship only. Okay, you are going to substitute what is B, mu naught mu or H, you are substituting H. Okay, then you are bringing grouping all these terms as yes, that's all. Okay, easy. Okay, see, based upon these relationships, problems will come. Okay, I will solve problems at the end of this class, but before that you need to remember or you need to know what is difference between para, dia and ferromagnetic material. Some examples you need to know, okay, that might be asked in MCQ. So I will discuss that first. Okay, now para, dia and ferro. Okay, so what's the difference? This you must have studied in your physics class, no? So tell me
Yes,
some
ma'am.
examples and how you can distinguish all these things.
Ferro is cobalt and iron.
Ferro
Para means
is
it will.
cobalt, nickel, iron. So many examples are there. So if it is a ferromagnetic material, means what will be the nature of the magnetism? Strong or weak?
The substances when
Very
come in
strong, ma'am.
magnetic, they become permanently magnetized.
So suppose if you are placing cobalt or nickel and iron in one external magnetic field, it will be strongly magnetized. Okay, it will become strongly
ma'am.
magnetized. So that's why they are called as ferromagnetic material. And mostly for all machines, they will use of this material only. So ferro. Okay, the permeability will be very high or low?
Ma'am,
Permeability will be very high. Okay, suppose if you take the case of a dia material, then diamagnetic material,
Ma'am, permeability is less than 1.
example is silver, gold, okay, all those things, okay, copper, all those things are called as diamagnetic material. So suppose if you are placing this diamagnetic material in external magnetic field, will it get magnetized or not?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
it will get repelled, okay.
Yes.
And if you see to the permeability very less. Okay, so these materials are not good for making up machines. Okay, when you are going to place these materials in a magnetic field, it will get repelled. Okay, next finally there comes the paramagnetic material. Example is aluminium. Okay, tantalum, magnesium. Okay, all those things will come under paramagnetic material. So what can you tell about the permeability of a paramagnetic material?
Ma'am, slightly greater than.
Yes, when you are going to place aluminum or tantalum or lithium or magnesium in a magnetic material or magnetic space, it will get magnetized slightly. It will get weakly magnetized, not strongly, but it will get magnetized in a weak manner. Okay, so those materials will be called as what material?
Paramagnetic.
Paramagnetic material. Okay, this question might be asked in MCQs. They will give some 4 choices of materials and they will ask you which is belonging to what category. So tell me what are the examples for ferro?
Nickel, cobalt, iron.
Nickel, cobalt, iron. Okay, and when you are going to place these materials in a magnetic space, it will get strongly magnetized and permeability will be very high. If you see to dia, what are the examples?
Copper.
Silver, copper.
Copper, silver, gold. Okay, silver, gold, copper, carbon, everything will come under dia. If you are keeping these dia materials in a magnetic field external, then it will get repelled. Okay, so it will not at all be magnetic, it will get repelled. So those materials will be called as diamagnetic material. Mu will be very less. Finally, paramagnetic material means examples are aluminum, lithium, tantalum, magnesium, etc. So if you are going to keep this in external magnetic field, they will get magnetized, but in a weak manner. Okay. So they will be called as what material?
Para.
Para.
Okay. Remember the examples. Examples are important. I think paramagnetic material one time they were asked in MCQ. I think aluminium they have given in one of the choices. Okay. All right. Understood? Shall I move on to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we solve problems or you want me to go on with the topics?
Problems, sir.
Topics.
Problems.
Ma'am, problems.
Problems.
Problems will solve a little bit. It will be easy. It will be
Ma'am, from which book, ma'am, have you put this book in GCR from where you are teaching us?
Yes, ma'am has put na.
These are general taken off from net. Okay, I'm not using book. Okay, I'm taking material from net. Whichever is good, I am taking and teaching. And these materials I'm forwarding in group also. Yes or no? I'm putting whichever PPT is nice. I am putting it to you also. Basically, these all things are covered up in the book that I told you. No, on book. What book did I tell you?
Basic electrical and electronics.
Basic Electrical Electronics and Computer Engineering. Okay, by Shali Vahanan. That book covers up everything. So one problem I am telling you, this one. What is being asked in the problem? There is a magnetic pole face rectangular section having dimensions 200 mm by 500 mm. Using this you can calculate the area. Okay. If the total flux emerging from the pole is 150 microweber, so what is given?
Phi is given.
Phi is given. And what they have asked you to calculate?
Flux density.
Flux density.
B they have asked you to calculate. So what formula will you be using up?
Pi by A.
5 by A. So phi is directly given to you. That is 150 into microweber means 10 to the power minus 6. Area, how will you calculate?
Ma'am by length.
200
Yes.
into 100.
200
10 to the power
mm,
minus 6 into 10 to the
mm it
power
is
minus
given. So you have to convert that into meter. This is area. So tell me what is B?
0.0075 Weber.
Use this formula. Okay. So what is the answer that you got?
0.0075.
Yes, 0.0075 Tesla all got.
Yes, ma'am. Same only. 7.5.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you got.
రెండు మూడు నాలుగు అంటే అంతేలే.
All got this answer, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now solve this problem. What is being asked in this problem? A magnetizing force of 8000 ampere per meter is applied to circular magnetic circuit of mean diameter 30 centimeter by passing a current through a coil wound on the circuit. If the coil is uniformly wound around the circuit and 750 turns, find the current in the coil, they have asked. So how will you solve for the problem? What are the things that are given in the problem?
Ma'am, it is given. Then N is given.
What is the number of turn notation? Notation for number
N.
of turns is N. So the N
N.
value is 750 turns. Okay. And they have given H. Okay,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
H. That is Ni by L value. So H is given and they have asked you to find the current I.
And we can find the circumference.
L is the 2 pi r value or pi d. Okay. So pi d mean length. Okay, mean length they have found out by using the diameter, and they will be using what formula again?
Ma'am,
Ni divided by L. Okay, I want I. I is the unknown parameter. So H into
L by N.
L divided by N. N is directly given 750. H is given, that is 8000. L is pi d. Okay, so find out and tell me. L is the mean length that is given by pi d in general. All are understanding how to solve?
Yes, ma'am.
Roshan, Aryan, Aditya, Ayush,
Yes,
Agrawal,
32 something we'll get 32.
32,000.
32,000, huh? How you are getting 32,000? Answer is given to be 10 ampere.
Yes, ma'am, 10 ampere.
Yes, ma'am. I want to multiply with pi also.
Yes, ma'am.
Same.
10 ampere.
All got 10 ampere.
Yes, ma'am, 10
Yes,
ampere.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Girls are not answering. Nagasani got the answer. Tejashwini,
Yes, ma'am, I want it.
Nagasani, what about Nagasani? Reshma,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
got the answer.
10.048.
All were 10.5.
Yes, ma'am. 10.048.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next problem will go. This problem is solved. All are simple problem only. Might be asked in 4 mark or MCQs. So what is asked in the problem?
Relative permeability.
Given data,
Flux density B is given.
you need to find mu r. Okay,
H is given.
steel. So B is given 1.2
And H
Tesla.
is given.
H. So how will you solve for mu r?
Ma'am, B is
B
equal to mu naught into mu r into H.
Mu naught mu r H. Okay, so I want relative permeability mu r. So mu r is equal to B divided by mu naught H. What is the answer for mu naught? Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7.
-7.
Find out mu r. Today Jay Praveen is present. Jay Praveen. Jay Praveen.
Yes, ma'am.
Kakru, why were you absent for so long, man? You told that you will
Yeah.
attend class and in between you were absent.
Because I have a fever, ma'am.
How you people are all getting fever?
Coronavirus.
Corona time.
You got positive, corona.
No, ma'am.
Simple fever. Fever is gone or not?
Yes, ma'am.
You are getting taste or something?
What is the answer?
764 point something.
764. Let me check. Okay. 764. All get 764.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about Aryan? You have something
Yes,
to
ma'am.
tell me?
I have also got 764.
Okay, Shrish, everybody else, Tanishk.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, it will
So
not
shall
have any unit, na?
yes, it is permeability, no unit, constant only. Okay, so let's finish of that problem. Then problem number 5 also is solved. You have to determine the magnetic field strength and of to produce B. B is given 0.25 and air gap length they have given 12 mm. You have taken on the question. Shall I move on to the next page?
Yes, ma'am.
Air gap length is 12 mm, B is equal to 0.25 T, for which you have to determine MMF and H. I think so. It is air gap, so what will be mu r?
1.
1.
1. Check whether you are getting those answers, H and MMF. L they have directly given, okay, 12 mm. So 12 into 10 to the power minus 3. Dhruv, you got the answer. Dhruv, where is Dhruv? Dhanush,
His mic is not working, I'm through. He kept in chat box.
all got this answer. Why it's taking long time to solve? You have to solve these sort of problems very quickly. You got the same answer for H and MMF?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, solve the next problem also, after which I will continue with the theory. One more reluctance based problem I have to solve, otherwise you will not understand. Let me check if there is any reluctance calculation problem. Okay, try to solve problem number 10. A mild steel ring has a radius they have given. Radius is 50 mm, so you have to convert that to meter. Area they have given, okay, that you have to convert into meter squared. I is given 0.5 and B is given in milliweber, so you have to convert that into Weber. And relative permeability mu r they have given. They have asked you reluctance of mild steel and N. Try to solve the problem. Problem 10. Solve. What is the formula for reluctance again?
Ma'am, upon mu naught into mu r into A.
So mu naught is known 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Mu r is given 200. Area is 400. And mean length you have to find by using radius 2 pi r.
Into 5 into 50 into 10 to the minus 3.
So what's the formula? You have to tell me the answer. Easy problem only. That everything you have to convert into meter squared, meter, Weber, okay? L is mean length given by 2 pi r or pi d. Here radius is given, so we will be usually using 2 pi r.
And 3.125 into 10 to the power minus 6.
8.125 reluctance, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 3.125. One more thing they have asked number of tons. All got 3.125 into 10 to the power 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Find out the number of tons also. N. You know the relationship between reluctance, MMF, and flux. What is the relationship?
NI by L.
Ni divided by S is equal to phi. So phi is directly given. For finding number of turns, use the relationship phi is equal to Ni divided by S.
62,500.
52,500. Let me check. 52,500. 625 tons they have given. Check. Huh? 625 tons is the right answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 625.
Yes, ma'am.
All got?
Yes, ma'am. 625 tons.
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. Yes, ma'am. Got.
All the rest also you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Arun Roshan, Rahil
Yes,
Jat.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What about Karthik? Erla? Mohammad Tafiq? Dhanush?
Yes, ma'am. Got 625.
What about Dhanush? Nowadays very silent. Rahul? What about Utsav Anand? Mita? All got this answer? Shall we proceed to theory? Ramcharan, Lakshman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll proceed now to theory part again. Next, we need to know some effects, fringing effect and leakage flux we'll discuss. Okay. See, I told you that this magnetic circuit is also forming part of machines. Okay, DC or AC machine, motor or generator. They are all partially electric and partially magnetic. Okay, if you see into the construction of any DC machine, okay, construction of any DC machine, if you see, it will be having two parts. Okay, one this one and one this one. Okay, in between these you will be having air gap. Okay, via which the flux lines will travel. All right. That is why I'm telling you all the DC machines are partially electric and partially magnetic. Okay. The small dots that are seen, they are nothing but coils. Okay. So whenever you are having coils with the number of turns wound around the magnetic specimen, and if it is being made to pass current, then what will be set up as a result?
Ma'am, will you please repeat?
See, suppose if you are having a magnetic specimen, okay, any magnetic material, all right, around which you are winding some considerable number of coils and you are passing current through it. So what will be set up as a resultant?
Magnetic
It's a
Magnetic field.
Yes, magnetic field will be created. Okay. So like this, one setup will also be present in all the DC machines also. Okay. So these small dots that you are seeing, these are nothing but coils only. Okay. And this will be your magnetic specimen. Okay, and it is being made to pass current. So automatically it's set up flux lines and it will pass through the air gap. Okay, so flux lines will travel through the air gap to the other part. Okay, so that is how the principle of action happens for a motoring machine or generating machine. Okay, but the problem is always it will not be useful, the flux lines. Okay, suppose if you take the case of a transformer, you assume. Okay, do you know anything about the construction of a transformer? How will it look like? Construction of a transformer. This will be one magnetic specimen. Okay, this will be usually called as a core. Okay, that will be a magnetic material only. So in this magnetic material, you are winding up primary coil and secondary coil. So this is the constructional detail of a transformer. Okay. So this is on these two coils are not physically in connection, they are magnetically coupled. Okay. So this is actually how a transformer looks like. So suppose if I are connecting the primary to an AC sub, it will be set up as a result.
Magnetic field, ma'am.
Magnetic field. So that flux lines, these are flux lines. These are flux lines that will travel from primary side to secondary side, and they will be linking with the secondary. Okay, because of that linking in secondary side also some current will be generated and it will be delivering the load. So this is how transformer action happens. Okay, so this is useful because it is linking with the secondary, it is inducing EMF, so it is useful. But it will not be always the case. Okay, but it will not be always the case. The flux lines, it will not be always flowing through the core. Sometimes there is a chance that it will leak out. Okay, it will follow a non-designated path. This is the air gap. So it will not take up the core path, it will take up the non-designated path, it will leak out from the designated core path. So that leaked out flux is called as leakage flux. That is an unwanted flux. Because of the leakage flux, you won't be getting any useful action. Okay, understood what is the meaning of leakage flux?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the meaning of the leakage flux? The path taken by the flux that will pass through the core only. Okay, as shown by the dotted line. If it is always sticking to the core path, then all the flux will be linking with the secondary side, it will be useful. But it will not be the case. Okay, it may leak out from the designated path, it will flow here, flow here. So those flux will not link with the secondary winding, it will go as a waste. Okay, so that flux will be called as what flux?
Leakage flux.
Designated path of core, that will be called as a leakage flux. So you can refer to this diagram. So these flux lines, okay, they are passing through core. Okay, so those are useful flux. But if you see to this one, so they are termed as what flux? What is the name of the flux?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Leakage.
Ma'am, leakage flux.
Leakage flux. So this is, these things are not passing through the core. This is core. They are not following the designated core path. They are leaking out. So these flux will be called as what flux?
Leakage flux.
Leakage flux. Okay.
Leakage flux.
Leakage flux. So based upon that, you need to define one factor that is called as leakage coefficient or leakage factor. Okay, that is given by lambda, that is the ratio between total flux divided by the useful flux. Okay, remember this formula. This formula might be asked in 2 more questions, so make a note of it. So what is the formula for leakage coefficient or leakage factor?
Total flux upon leakage flux.
Total flux divided by useful flux, not leakage flux. Okay. Total flux divided by
Useful flux.
flux.
useful flux. I am writing it. So this is my leakage coefficient, that is nothing but total flux divided by useful flux. Total flux means what will be the sum? That will be useful flux plus
Leakage flux.
leakage divided by
Leakage flux.
Useful flux.
Useful flux.
useful flux. This is called as what coefficient? Leakage coefficient. Might be asked in MCQ, so better make a note of it. Understood? Understood the meaning
Yes,
of
ma'am.
leakage flux and leakage coefficient?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, one more effect also you need to define. That effect is called a sort effect. What is the name of the effect?
Fringing
Fringing effect. ma'am.
Fringing effect.
Fringing
Okay. Suppose if you see to the diagram, okay, there is a north pole here, there is a south pole here. Okay, between which you are seeing an air gap. Okay, so whatever flux lines are set up, they should be always sticking to the air gap. Okay, always sticking to the air gap. If it is so, everything is good. Okay, magnetism or some further action will happen. Everything will be good. Okay, but this is not always the case. What happens here? What happens here to the flux lines? It bulges. Yes or no? It bulges. You know, you understood the meaning of bulging, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it
Yes,
should
ma'am.
be actually straight. Okay, between north and south pole, it should be straight. It should be occupying always the air gap area. But other than that, it is also bulging. Okay, like this. It's bulging out. Okay. So this bulging phenomena is called as what phenomena?
Fringing effect.
Fringing effect.
Fringing effect. So because of this, what will happen to the flux density? What will happen to the air gap area? Air gap area is increased. Flux density will be reduced. Okay. Effective area will be increased because of the bulging, but the flux density will be reduced. Okay, that is a drawback actually. Flux density should not be reduced, it should be high. All right. Plus, this fringing is also directly proportional to the length of the air gap. Okay. So, higher the air gap, it will affect the fringing phenomena more. Right. So, the air gap dimension should be chosen accordingly. All right. So, now you understood the two phenomena, that is leakage flux and fringing.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do you mean by that leakage flux?
Ma'am, the flux which passes through the core is called as leakage flux.
Again, you tell me. I think you have done the definition wrong.
Ma'am, the flux
What is leakage flux?
which deviates from its path.
Yes, the flux that does not take the designated path will be called as leakage flux. Okay, based upon that, one leakage coefficient factor, you have to learn out what is leakage coefficient.
The ratio
Total
between
flux
total
upon
flux
upon
useful
upon useful
flux.
flux.
Total flux divided by useful flux. Similarly, what is fringing?
The bulging effect which in between the north pole and south pole.
Yes, the flux lines always will not stick to the air gap. It will bulge out from the air gap. Because of the bulging, the effective area of the air gap will be increased, but the problem is magnetic flux density will be reduced. Okay, so this is an unwanted phenomena that you have to reduce. Accordingly, you have to choose the dimensions of the air gap. Okay, so this is fringing effect and leakage flux, again an important question. So this finishes off. Next, we'll move on to the characteristics. I think you must have studied the characteristics of magnetic materials in your lower class. What are the characteristics of magnetic material? Characteristics. So you know what is B, you know what is H. So what are B and H? What are B and H?
Ma'am, B
B
is
is
flux
flux density
density
and
and
H is
H
magnetizing
is magnetizing force.
Magnetic field strength. Okay, so if you are drawing a curve relating B and H, okay, if you are drawing a curve B versus H, that curve will be called as what curve?
Hysteresis.
Hysteresis also is another curve, but typically it will be called as a BH curve, magnetization curve they call it as. Okay, this is commonly called as a magnetization curve. If you are relating flux density and H, if you are plotting a graph between these two parameters, that will be called as a BH curve or a magnetization curve. And if you draw it full, it will also be called as a hysteresis curve. That is a different phenomena that you have to describe. So if you want to draw a curve, okay, like this, then some experimental setup is necessary. So you consider the experimental setup where you are having a magnetic medium, okay, around which you are winding and passing current. And by varying this rheostat, you will be able to vary the current flow also. So whenever the current is varied, what will happen to H?
Magnetizing force will also change.
Yes, because H is equal to Ni divided by L. So if you are varying the supply, it will vary the current also, H will also vary. So with the H variation, what will happen to B? B is equal to mu H. So if you vary H, B will also vary. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So with this experimental setup, if you are plotting a curve, that curve will look like this. Okay. Initially, it will be linear only. It will be a straight line. Okay. Then after some point, it will lose its linearity. It will curve. Okay. That zone will be called as what zone?
Non-linear zone.
Non-linear zone. Okay. Still, if you vary the current, okay, still if you vary the H value, then B will not be having the same incremental variation. It will stop to increase. Okay. That will be called as what zone?
Saturation zone.
Saturation zone. Okay. So these are three zones that you will usually observe in what is the name of the curve?
BH curve.
pH curve.
BH curve. So what are the three zones that you will be observing in the curve? First thing, it will be linear only. So if you vary H, B will also vary. One time variation means B will also vary one time. So linear variation initially. Still if you go on increasing, now the slope will reduce. Okay, if you are increasing H, B will be reducing its increment a little. So the curve will slightly deviate from the linearity. So it will enter into the non-linear zone. And still if you go on increasing the H value, finally there will be no change in B, it will remain constant, it will saturate. Okay? Understood? BH or magnetization curve, a linear zone, non-linear zone and saturation zone. Okay? Now in the same fashion you need to know the hysteresis curve also. Tell me, what do you know about hysteresis curve? And this BH curve, will it vary for different material or it will always remain the same for all the material? That is another question.
Ma'am, it will vary.
Yes. Suppose if it is mild steel means it will
Ma'am, your
vary.
voice is
Suppose if
fluctuating.
it is
Your voice is
cast
breaking.
iron means it will vary like that. Okay.
Your voice
Remember
was
that.
breaking, ma'am. Will you
Next,
please
one more
repeat?
Ma'am,
characteristics we will
whatever
learn
you
out, that
said
is
now was
hysteresis.
not clear. Can you repeat it once more?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay. I am not speaking with. You want me to repeat BH curve or hysteresis curve? Hysteresis curve I will explain, but BH curve you understood or not?
Ma'am, the last statement you spoke.
Wait, let me check. Take out the material for a hysteresis loop. Now you people are
Yes,
able to
ma'am.
hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, BH curve you understood or not? The three zones of BH curve.
Ma'am, why the curve will vary for different materials?
Ma'am, the curve between B and H, the BH curve that varies accordingly to the
Yeah, yeah.
medium.
Yes, initially it will be linear, then it will be non-linear, then it will get saturated. All those things you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll proceed to the
Ma'am, why
hysteresis curve.
for different
That is
materials?
also a BH curve. What?
Ma'am, why the BH curve will vary for different
What, Yasha?
materials?
Depending upon mu r, it will vary, no? It will be taking one shape, but mostly the shape will be always same. But the exact nature of the curve will depend upon the permeability value of a non-magnetic media or magnetic media.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I will show you an example curve. I will show you later or now. Okay, first let me finish hysteresis curve. Then I will tell you how the curves are varying. I think you must have studied this hysteresis curve in your lower classes. So what do you know about hysteresis curve? This is also drawn between
And
what parameter?
BH.
H.
B and
H.
H. Okay. So this nature, okay, that is the original BH curve, magnetization curve. Okay. But it will be taking an offbeat, okay, shape like hysteresis. That's why it is called as a hysteresis curve. And if you measure the area under this curve, it will be giving result to one loss. What is the name of the loss?
Hysteresis loss.
There are
Hysteresis
two
loss.
types hysteresis loss. Apart from hysteresis loss, one more magnetic loss is also there, eddy current loss. Do you know?
Yes, ma'am, I heard it.
Eddy current.
Oh, ma'am.
So there are
Ma'am, are
two
you talking
core
about eddy current?
losses. Yes, core losses.
हाँ
Core losses are magnetic.
क्या है मम्मी क्लास चल रही है यार मम्मी हम दिन आपको बता सकते हैं किस दिन हम फ्री
Priyam,
हैं या
mute
टाइम
your
बता सकते हैं आप टाइम उसी टाइम के हिसाब से देख लो
Priyam, mute your mic.
Okay.
हम ही भरे थे तो ये थोड़ी ना पढ़ाई छोड़ के हम ही भरे थे
Bro, mute your mic, man.
I am trying to mute.
हम 1 बजे से 3 बजे तक फ्री हैं
But I'm
अभी
not
बज
able
रहा
to
है
mute.
10:30
Hey Priyam, mute your mic and then talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are two losses actually. The magnetic losses are two in number. Core losses it is also called as. One loss is eddy current loss. Okay, and the other one is hysteresis loss. Okay, so if you measure the area on this curve, that will be proportional to the hysteresis loss, and the area will also differ depending upon the type of magnetic material that you're using. And two things you need to discuss in this hysteresis curve. Okay, initially this OX is there, isn't it? That is called as residual magnetism. So do you know what is the meaning of residual magnetism?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Residual magnetism. So OX is called as residual magnetism. So let me tell you what is the meaning of this residual magnetism. Suppose fresh magnetic specimen if you are taking, okay, and if you are trying to magnetize that unmagnetized material, it will be already having some remained pieces of magnetism property in it, okay. So that because of that, even though it is not being given any current, still it will be exhibiting magnetic property. So that will be called as what? That is called as
Residual magnetism.
Residual
Pure
magnetism. It
magnetic.
will, see, you take a same specimen, you wind the coil, you are not passing current yet. It is not passed with the current, but still that setup will exhibit some small amount of magnetism, very minimal. That is because of the magnetic property that is left over. Okay, so that will be called as what?
Residual magnetism.
Residual magnetism, that is this OX. Okay, and one more thing you have to remember, that is called as coercive force. Okay, so coercive force. So this one, coercive force. Okay, so all right, these two things, residual flux density remnants and coercive force. See, you will be having the same setup, okay, of coil. Initially, you will be passing current, and then you will be reversing the direction of the current, thereby H will be reversed, and you will be obtaining a curve like this, closed curve, right? And from this curve, you will be trying to define the residual magnetism and coercive force. Coercive force, I think, even if once you remove the magnetism, something will happen. That if I forgot, I will tell you next class. Okay, coercive force. All right, but the thing is, you will be using the same setup of magnetic specimen. You will be passing current first in the forward direction, then in the negative direction, so that H becomes reversed. Okay, and you're observing a closed cycle of travel. Okay, that curve will be called as hysteresis curve, and in that hysteresis curve, two things you need to remember. One is residual magnetism, for which I have given definition. Residual magnetism is nothing but whenever you are trying to magnetize, okay, even before it is passed current, it will be exhibiting some small amount, a minimal amount of flux property that is left over from the earlier behavior. So that is called as residual flux or remnants or residual magnetism, because of which some EMF will be induced. Okay, coercive force, I have to give you a proper definition, that I will do it in the next class. Okay, I will tell you how that variation of the curve also happens. Okay, that closed curve, no, why it is reversing, all those things I will explain in the next class. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
but this is the shape of the curve. But remember, two things you have to remember. One is residual flux density, and the other one is what?
Coercive force.
Coercive force. Coercive force, I will give a proper definition next class. Okay? All right. Okay. With this, we will wind up class. Plus, next class, I will try to give definition for inductance, self-inductance, mutual inductance, self-induced EMF, mutually induced EMF. Then several other things. Faraday's law of electromagnetic EMF, induced induction, and then Lenz's law. All these things you must have studied in your lower class, yes or no? Lenz's law, Faraday's law.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all those things we will discuss in our next class, plus some more problems. Okay. And what is the meaning of a series circuit, magnetic circuit, and composite magnetic circuit, we have to discuss. Okay, that those things we will do in the next class. Plus this hysteresis curve also, I will discuss it properly. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
With this, we'll wind up the class. But you understood the basic problems, no? Simple problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Problems will also come from series series magnetic circuit. That is more important. That will come under 16 mark. That we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. This will wind up
Ma'am,
the
which
class.
one will come under 16 marks?
Series magnetic circuit, that I have not taught you yet. Like you are having series electric circuit, now where the current is commonly flowing, here flux will be common. So suppose you are having an air gap and magnetic media, that will be a series magnetic circuit. Okay, so for that, how to derive the same parameters, magnetic parameters, we will discuss. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, but don't forget the basic formula that I have taught you today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
We
when
can discuss.
CT1 will start, ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am.
When will our what starts, sir?
CT1.
You told 5.
I mean, the portion for that is up to
Unit 1.
First unit fully 25 MCQs.
Okay, so
Ma'am,
numerical
but
type
sir has given the tentative timetable, not the perfect one.
It will be perfect one only. Anyway, common timetable from the college itself they will release.
Okay, ma'am.
I think, but the starting date will be 5 only. They will try to finish off before Diwali. When was your initial class started? October what date?
28, ma'am.
28 September.
28th September itself started means they will put cycle test. Only they are waiting for finishing up admission. Otherwise they will not delay. Okay. Okay, so be prepared.
Admissions are closed, na?
What ma?
1 month is over.
Admissions are closed, na?
Yes, admissions are mostly closed, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
So mostly they will conduct because 1 month in start from the start of 1 month they will conduct cycle test. Okay. All right, all can disperse now.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank 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 you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Some attendance?
As I always tell you, there is an automatic attendance mark.